Hello and welcome to Univision. I'm Carolina Sarassa. Happy Wednesday, feliz miércoles, and thank you for being with us today. And a historic day in Washington, the House voting to send articles of impeachment to the Senate for a critical trial on whether charges of abuse of power and obstruction of Congress are grounds for removing President Trump. Let's go to Janet Rodriguez. She's at the White House with the latest. Janet.
The White House would like us to be talking about that Phase 1 commercial agreement signed with the Chinese government here at the White House this morning. But the president himself couldn't stay away from the talk of town. Those 7 managers of impeachment, now we know who they are, 2 of them being the leader of the Judiciary Committee. The trial that will take place in the Senate starting next week. Now, the debate in the Senate in the next couple of days will focus on whether they would have testimonies, further witnesses come on and share their experiences, whether it will be open to the press. There is press coverage being handled as well, how it will be covered for that trial to start on Tuesday. Now, the White House back here is saying that this is a fraud, that the naming of those 7 individuals, managers, doesn't change anything because they expect for the president to be exonerated, and the president today reiterating that message that he believes that this is a hoax and the Republicans have his back. Back to you.
Well, thank you, Janet, for that report from Washington, D.C. And on the eve of the Senate trial, Democrats bolstered their case against President Trump and their demands for more evidence by releasing new documents from an associate of Rudy Giuliani. That man now facing charges in federal court. Paula Byron has the details. It was the final showdown at the last Democratic debate before the Iowa caucuses, just 3 weeks away. Along with Iran and healthcare, tensions between Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren took center stage. And now we are joined by Charles Selden. He's a political science professor at Knight. Healthcare was a major issue. Aranza Loizaga has more on the candidate's position on an issue that is critical to all Americans. We now know Russian hackers gained access to the Ukrainian gas company at the center of the Trump impeachment trial. Lawmakers and security analysts are now starting to weigh in. Rafael Rodriguez has more details. When we come back, a baseball and the city of New York is sending experts to Puerto Rico to help the territory deal, and fallout is growing from a sports cheating scandal. The Red Sox have fired manager Alex Cora. He's the manager who helped the Astros and the Red Sox win championships. David Romo has more. And the league is still investigating Cora's role and also investigating any possible illegal sign stealing with the Boston Red Sox in a separate investigation into the team and its championship season in 2018. And now a Kentucky 9th grader has been expelled from her private school over a photo posted to her mother's Facebook page. The school calls the colorful birthday cake and rainbow on her shirt a, quote, lifestyle violation. As Kayla Tejada explains, the teen's mother said she and her daughter are devastated. The Kentucky school is pushing back, calling it inaccurate that the student was expelled just because of that social media post. And now the state of New Jersey could become the first in the nation to guarantee compensation for workers at some companies after layoffs. Here is Peggy Carranza with more details. And up next, how the heroic actions of a quick thing. And welcome back. A scary experience for a Minnesota middle school basketball team when the school bus they were in caught fire. Those players escaping out the back just in time. Jorge Hernandez reports. It is being called an amazing escape. A so-called microburst impacted a school in North Carolina just as children were playing. Thankfully, everyone survived. Grecia Lastra has the details. The student accused of fatally shooting his 16-year-old classmate at a Texas high school has assured Ramos that people will see the results of his policy against violence by the end of the year. And also in Mexico, they're looking for other options after being unable to sell its presidential plane in the U.S. President López Obrador promised to sell the aircraft to fund social programs, but the question remains, what happens to the pricey Boeing 787 now? Angie Sandoval has some answers. In today's Tech Report, details on dating apps leaking your personal information. Here's Annabelle Sedano with more.
Hi there, that's right, and we begin with this. An investigation has revealed that dating apps such as Grindr, OkCupid, and Tinder leak personal information to advertising tech companies. According to the group, all three are sharing detailed personal data with thousands of advertising partners, information about users' location, age, gender, and sexual orientation. The California law requires companies that sell personal data to third parties to provide a prominent opt-out button. And in an effort to combat misinformation and fake news, Instagram has recently rolled out a new feature that flags fake photos. According to Instagram, the system uses a combination of feedback from their community and technology to identify which photos to pass on to third-party independent fact-checkers. If they determine that a photo is fake, it's hidden behind a warning message before anyone can view it. And finally, NASA astronauts Jessica Meir and Christina Koch are at it again. Early this morning, they stepped outside of the International Space Station into the vacuum of space together. The duo is replacing old nickel-hydrogen batteries with newer, more powerful lithium-ion batteries to continue upgrading station power systems on the Port 6 Truss structure. So impressive. I'm Annabelle Sedano, and that was your daily dose of tech news. Have a good one, guys.
And welcome back to Your News. Jeopardy has named the greatest of all time. The stunning finale coming down to the very last question. Azul Alvarez has the highlights. Congratulations. Those were very hard questions. Our executive producer dies to go into that show. So hopefully one day we can see him on screen and winning that competition. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Hasta mañana. And thank you for your time.